Imagine aliens violently invaded our planet with superior intelligence and weaponry, leaving us an ultimatum to fight back or be exterminated. How would that affect your thoughts on foreign policy? Would you think that your country was number one? Perhaps some opinion-based nation rating system would no longer be of any consequence to you. Would you think of the country yours is at war with as evil and hope it gets blown away all over natural resources, forms of government, or who worships whom or what? Would you gaze upon your fellow humans with eyes that divide them by hair type, skin color, or ethnic features, or might you look at them for the first time as nothing more or nothing less than equal members of your own species? Would you still consider those earthly differences important if impending obliteration forced you to consider the bigger picture? Would you open your mind enough to consider that maybe it's time for all countries to start working together rather than against one another in some global competition that nobody wins? Would you still be happy that we cling to obsolete heritage traditions, dividing our global communications by 6,900 different languages, instead of growing up and speaking a worldwide first language to communicate seamlessly with one another? Would you still consider it smart for countries to compete over resources and technology, or would you think we should start combining our capital and intelligence for the sake of the greater good? Would you still refuse to seek the counsel of a potentially wiser person because he or she worships a different god or doesn't worship one at all? Would it matter what politicians voted on or what price tag said in our darkest hour with our backs against the wall? If our future became a very real and proximate thing rather than some ambiguous promise to a distant generation, might you show that future the attention and devotion it deserves? More importantly, why do we have to find ourselves facing certain travesty with scant alternatives to universally agree and unite as a species over the big issues, to recognize, discuss, and debate, yet tolerate our minute differences? Are we so short-sighted and stubborn that we only place those aside when an exterior presence of fatal threat forces us to do so? Is the only effective technique for our seemingly instinctive division against ourselves to unite against something else? Or is it possible that we can achieve that unity through modern logic? Imagine